Hello, hello, and happy Monday, my crafty creatures. Whew, it has been a weekend. I had a couple of days off, and I got quite a bit of stuff I needed to get done around the house. Like for Christmas, husband creature and I got an actual um bed frame, like uh headboard, footboard kind of deal. We previously had just had a kind of janky um just a bed frame that just lifted off the ground, and it was falling apart, and a couple of welds had busted and stuff like that. We needed a new bed frame, and we wanted a headboard so we could stop like having weird stuff all over the place. So 3 hours later, we have that all assembled, and the room is just tossed right now, because we're disorganized. We're neurodivergent, and when we put something together, everything else just kind of explodes. Um, but we got that all done. I got my special prints all set. Um, I just need to, now that they're all dry and everything, I'm gonna iron them again, and I will be putting them on the website, and there will be variations. There's only 4 of these going on the website. That's all I have of the fabric, and funny enough, the paint that made them. And yes, I absolutely could go out and buy the fabric and the paint again, but that's not part of my business plan. My business plan is upcycling as much as I can. Now, eventually, I am going to have to, buy paints and whatnot. But for the fabric, there's always scrap fabric that I can purchase and utilize. So I'm not going to go out and buy new when I can be unique and use scrap fabric. So there are 4. 4 of them. They will be, in theory, I will be taking pictures after stream, and I will put the direct link on the Facebook page of Raw Creature Creation. Or you can go to rawcreaturecreations.com, and I will try to make that because I'm still remodeling the website, so that's a hot mess too. That is a hot mess. But next week I have to be able to turn it in, so it should be up and running by next week. But Raw Creature Creations Facebook group will have the direct link. I'll put it in the products section of the Discord. I will not be I will not be like, hey, buy my shit. At the same time, hey, buy my shit. They're going to be $25 a pop. I can either frame them up for you, or I can send them if you want pillows. Want them to be pillows, and $10 of every of the 4 is gonna go to. It's called HEAL. It is Health and Equal. It is a LGBTQ plus organization in Bangor that serves the Down East and Central Maine communities. If I can get through this without stuttering, and I'm going to be doing a series of all the flags in the fox stencil. Different fabrics, different things, but still the same fox, and different flags, and that's what it's going to be. There's going to be 4 or 5 of them. They're going to be $25 a pop, and $10 of that is going right to HEAL. So that's going to be its own section of the website, is the limited edition fox, because I know I'll find another stencil that I like, but right now the fox is super cute. Ugh. So today we are working on 906. 906 is a nice little green. I was hoping to get this section done before I transitioned over today, but that didn't happen. So we're dealing with just a little bit of confetti in this area, and then we're gonna go up to the closeout of block filler. Let's see, it is 4 down. 3, and then 4 down. So, tomorrow, I will not be on, I'll only be on for an hour tomorrow, 11 to 12. I have an appointment with my med nurse, so I can't miss that, as I completely forgot about it at the beginning of the month, because, oh, my camera froze. Okay, there we go. Completely forgot about it at the beginning of the month, because, well, I forgot. I forgot to put it in my calendar, and therefore I forgot it existed. I'm really hoping I have enough time to get some stuff done. I have a work meeting, so I have to leave for work at 1. I'm gonna leave a little later than I normally do, because, well, I'm just thinking it's rough to have a work meeting during the day, because everybody is there and we have a very small employee parking lot. So there's a good chance I'm going to have to park across the street and walk to work, essentially walk across the street. And it really sucks, because at 11 at night, because these meetings will go right till 3. We don't get any pass down time or anything like that. So the meeting goes from 2 to 3, and then I hit the floor running so I can get the meds all done. And yeah, I do not like the meeting days. Hello! But that's where I'm at. Okay. Last confetti stitch for this area. At least I think so. I'm so sorry. This morning, we were really banking on Husband Creature not having work this morning, because it snowed, and it's actually more snow than we've gotten a lot of other storms where he got sent home from work, or his work was canceled. And for whatever reason, they didn't cancel today, so he was getting ready and I was shoveling, so I'm functional for the day, funny enough. But I was outside and I was shoveling, and I didn't have my meds yet, because I thought about it, is when I take my meds, once they touch down and start landing, I start utilizing them. So I was like, do I really want to utilize a stretch of my med time to shovel? The answer was no. Thank you! So I shoveled unmedicated, because it was an active service, which I love. I love to help. So it gave me the dopamines without needing the meds. So I cleared off his car and I filled his windshield washer fluid, because it's one of those tasks. It's like, it's so easy to do, but you just can't take the 5 minutes to do it. But oh my goodness, we have 89 stitches left of this 906 color, and I'm going up so I can get it all done. Kinda figure out, like, legit, if that's it. Well, I guess that could be 89. Oh, I guess I'll find out when it's all done. Okay. I'm gonna do this little area over here. If I can find it. Let's see. So, over here. I haven't found it yet, so if I can't see it on... If you can't see it on the cameras, because I haven't found it to put it on the camera yet. Okay, so, we're looking at that line there. And up 1, 2, 3. And up 1, 2. Ooh, I am good. I am good. So, while the bedroom is currently a doom pile, because it exploded, one of the things that does get done is I've been doing, I had the vacuum cleaner out, or the shop vac, because my household vacuum cleaner is a 9-gallon shop vac. Because I have a lot of fur in my house. So I got that all set up, and I've been slowly taking essentially the dust out of the house. And while I heat with wood, and yes, it is dusty, there are areas of the house that still have the plaster, and it's still like it seeps down in, and it makes more dust. So yesterday, I've been working on the area right outside my craft room, which is still an older part of the house, and I had the shop vac and access to in between the floors. Now, I have a big old house. Some of the floor/ceilings have a bigger gap than your normal buildings would, because they remodeled, they didn't take anything down, or they put stuff up. So there's bigger gaps than there really should be. And as I tear down and rebuild, I get higher ceilings. Ah, who would have thought? I actually have, and some rooms have 8-foot ceilings. Some of my other rooms have 10-foot ceilings, because when I remodeled the insulate, I got more ceiling space. But I had opportunity to get some stuff done, and I did. I cleaned out the space outside my doorway, in between the floors and whatnot. I got a lot of dust out of the house there, and I have no regrets, because it makes the air cleaner too. But that's really it. I also got some butterflies done. I got some diamond art butterfly ornaments. I guess I'm gonna start calling them ornaments, because they could be keychains, they could be backpack chains or purse chains or whatever. They could also be like a pole. I don't know how many people still have light poles. I know some of my lights still have the pull string. It could be a pull string thing. It could just be a decoration. Like, I got some of those done, and I actually, stopping and think about it, I got a lot cleaned and a lot done this weekend. I got my website mostly working, but that's gonna be this week, because of it needing to be turned in next Monday. That's gonna rule my soul, seeing as I don't have the weekend off this weekend to really cram for it, as it were. But all things I'm working on. I've been incredibly busy, and I want to thank everybody for dealing with me in my incredible busyness. I know that I've had to cancel stream a lot, and I've had to reorganize things, but it will all come together, and it will all work out. It's funny that one of the things that I'm required to do as part of this job, or part of this program, is apply for jobs. And I mean, I set it aside when I started this program just to make sure, but now that they're requiring it, it is funny. Yeah, I don't have enough. Damn it! Damn it! Oh, that's not where I need to be. I'm trying to organize all of my Doom piles because April, and really stopping and thinking about it, I could potentially have Infinity Loop done by April, just with the progress. And in April, I want to start Hogwarts to take a short in-betweener break from like cross-stitch projects. And I know everybody wants Captain Penis. I totally know everybody wants to have Captain Penis get on progression, but I need to. I want to get my Christmas gift. I want to get my giant present all started too. So you guys might have to put up with me building Lego Hogwarts, because it makes me happy. Right now it's covered in foxes. The box is covered in foxes. Yeah. I have lots of plates spinning right now. And I'm hoping at least a few of them stop spinning and are successful in completing what they need to do. Threading the needle, la 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 la. Okay. I have 2 half stitches somewhere. Where did I put them, guys? There we go. Maybe. Wasn't looking up high enough. Husband Creature got the amazingness that is a desk mat. My desk mat is super duper duper dusty. But I love my desk mat. Weird. Yeah, this giant line of green. Where do we go after this giant line of green? Okay, one out. So I've reached a point in my diamond dot ornamenting thing that the past couple of sets that I've done, I've already had the colors that came with the kit. So it was honestly kind of funny because I was like, I already have all of these colors, so I didn't open the little envelope sealy things, because if I have them loose, I want to use the loose ones before I open up the bag. Some of them I did not have a lot of, but I still had some, so I got rid of the mass collection, and then I was able to only, for example, the butterflies that I just did, I like working with the ones that have the weird beads, the weird rhinestones, and So I had one that had just a big red round beads, button beads. They don't have any fragmentation to create any sort of sparkle, so they're just round, shiny beads. And so I had a whole collection of those. I was one bead short from being able to do the entire project without opening the kit, the beads that came with it. And so I cut a little hole in the package, and I popped out one bead, and then I taped the sealed package back up. But it just makes me realize how many things I've made, and I'm still stocking up, and I'm still trying to get ready for my craft fairs. So if the foxes don't sell out online, they will definitely sell at the next couple craft fairs. I need to make a few kits as well. Generally I just have I have my kits are made to order, but I'm just gonna cut up some fabric and make like a few just plain white kits. Plain white fabric kits, I should say. Yeah, one of the things that this design course has me looking at very judgmentally is my slap dab job on things. And I have been very much revamping the website and whatnot. So it's been funny. It's been a process, and I have been working on the wording of my stuff, and it is so funny. Like, I changed on Raw Creature Creations, the .com. I changed my About Me section, and I have no regrets. It says everything I want it to say, and it makes it pretty. Because I unfortunately am that weird mix between wordy and precise. If I don't have to use a lot of words, I don't want to. I try to be very objective, and that could be from my years in healthcare, is because they don't want subjective, they want objective. And I can write me a good story, but at the same time, my brain is like, nah, bruh, we don't want to do this. So I definitely like AI to make my words fluffier. I write stuff, but it's generally in my normal tone. And I'll talk your ear off though, but having to write it down or sit and take time to type it, especially if I've already answered the question, and this is what gets me about job searching, is I've worked very hard on my resume. I have years of experience, and I am quite literally skill capped on LinkedIn. Like, you're allowed 50 skills. You're only allowed 50 skills. And I try to condense them and like incorporate them as much as I can. And funny enough, with professionals, LinkedIn is still like, that's where you want to go. So if you're looking for a job, apparently LinkedIn is still the place to look. But I'm skill capped. They only allow for 50 skills, but they itemize all of the skills so that, for example, I'm good with all of Google. I'm good with all of Google and Google Workspace. But they don't just give you, hey, Google Suite. Instead, they break it down to Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Docs. Oh yeah. Dragon, we need to connect. Like, we need to connect on LinkedIn, so I'll send you my stuff. Just because you're in tech, so I'm trying to break into that field too. So together, we might be able to do something. But and again, anyone watching who's in. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and part of what Merit America has had me doing, and they're kind of asinine about it, and I called them out on it. They're like, well, you really need to have your name match the name that's printed. Now, first of all, I am a woman, and I opted to change my name when I got married to husband creature. Now, I have never in my entire life changed my LinkedIn link name, and I go to change it once from my maiden name to my married name, and I did that because my initials were Sad, and now they're Save, and so I like that. That's a very selfish reason. But so I went to change it, and they're like, "No, you've changed it too many times." I'm like, "Excuse me, what?" And their customer service hasn't gotten back to me. So I called out Merit America. They're like, "Your name really needs to match." I'm like, nah. If you're not smart enough to do the math, then maybe I don't want to work for you. Oh, and I mean, you can. Like that's this week. I have a whole bunch of that kind of work that I have to do for Merit America because we are coming in to the home stretch. I have to turn in my website. I think it's just the desktop website this week. I'm gonna have to double check because my last two projects are a website and I think it's a mobile website. I'm really hoping it's not both combined because I'm working them together. Like if I need to pop up a mobile website in addition to, I am working on Rock Creature Creations as a duality. So I'll be able to spit them both out if I need to, but I'd prefer not to have to. But I mean, I have been just busting ass. I've been so incredibly busy. So, but it's so frustrating. Like, it, it, it it's and I haven't heard anything back from MA about what I said. I'm like, I've been in touch with customer service about just because I've never in God 21 years of using LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn since I got out of high school because when it came out, they're like, oh yeah, you really need this if you want to go somewhere in life. LinkedIn is never, I mean, I've gotten a lot of good professional contacts, but it's eh. But at the same time, I've never changed the link name, like ever. So when I go to do it to meet the requirements of this particular program, and they're like, nah. And then the program goes, well, you really need to change this to avoid confusion. Oh, yeah. Yeah. My full legal name at one point in time was just ridiculous. And then you feel like a dick on the phone. You're like, okay, I'd be like, okay, I don't mean to be a dick, but this gets messed up a lot. It is this hyphen. Don't forget that piece of punctuation. This hyphen this. And this is how you spell that second one. I'm tired of this. Yeah. See, I like big long fancy names. Don't get me wrong. I love them. Oh my goodness. Oh, that would piss me off so much. It's like, for me, it's don't question, like, don't question people if they know their own names. Like, seriously. Are you sure about that? Are you sure? Are you sure? I've had to tell my employer. I've had to tell my employer to space out, like, my last name is 2 words. Like, I have a 2 word last name. That's how I got save as my initials. I have a 2 word last name. And I've gotten people get huffy when I say this one and then space and then this, because the insurance company gets pissy. If you don't have that space, they get pissy. I know it seems weird, but if their AI can't read it and their AI reads all of those spaces, but for example, like when you enter in a username and it has that space after because you just kind of copied and pasted and accidentally caught a space, if there's that space afterwards, it catches that space and goes, no, you're wrong. So that space is important to AI. Are you sure? Are you sure? It's so ridiculous. Like, if a and I like AI. Don't get me wrong. I like AI and the assistance that it can provide for humans. Can it replace a human? No, it can't, because of little things like, oh hey, there's an extra space. That is the exact reason. Well, I will always stand on the hill that AI cannot replace a human being because of things like that extra space. Hill I will die on. Um, I don't mind. I don't mind it as an assistive tool because partially that's how I'm still alive. Because I use a fuck ton of technology to keep myself upright and breathing. Because I have a disease that with ADHD is hard to manage. I managed it for a very long time without meds, not knowing why I was so exhausted from managing just one aspect of my life, and then finding out, and then I'm in a whole nother puddle of goo. But it's an assistive technology at best currently, and I feel it. Like, one thing that I didn't really utilize before hopping into this course was AI, because I was like, whatevs. I didn't need that assistive technology because I didn't realize the expanse of what it could do. Now I'm like dropping it like it's hot. Like, oh hey, I have an item on my website that I want to describe. Here's how I describe it. Here, AI, make it pretty, make it sell. And that's what I do. In all honesty, if my item descriptions don't sound like me, it's because it's not. It's a computer. I still have to fix. In resume building, I've had a very expansive career in a lot of things that I didn't realize how much I did until I stopped and looked back at how much I did, and then got kind of salty about it because I did a lot and was really underappreciated for it. Really salty that an AI perused my resume and decided I wasn't good enough for a job I applied for. It was kind of funny because I had applied like the day before, and the next day I got a rejection letter. I was like, well, an automated email going, you didn't match the things of the things. Because when I did UI design in my previous long-term career, I was under the title of training coordinator and not like designer or anything like that, and none of my job titles previous to what I'm trying to break into, because I'm in a transitional state, none of them had the titles they were looking for. But if you read the job descriptions, you could see that I spent 3 years building a learning management system from ideation to rollout. The hyphens die would drag. Wow. I guess that was quite a bit. Okay. We have 50 stitches left in this 906 color, so I am pleased as punch. I didn't pick another color. I did not pick another color to go to, so we're gonna have to sit and think about that. But okay. I'm using a short bit of string I have left to play a little bit of thread chicken for 5 stitches up here, and then big finale of the color. I feel it. I haven't gotten. Let's see. I've been going in bursts. After after assembling the bed frame, I had to sit and do sit down jobs after that because, let's be fair, I'm still in pain from it. Just from the moving around, and didn't actually have to lift anything. Husband Creature was good for that, but I'm sore from just existing. And I get to walk at work today. I think that's what's really like that eats at my soul is the 10 miles 5 days a week. I need to get the shop vac back up here so I can continue the epic dedustification of up here. I had to empty it last night. It was filled with dust and concrete yuck, and yeah, all just from in between floors and plaster. Like I got some pretty big plaster chunks, and I did it, but the area is a lot less dusty. Like I can breathe it in the air. I haven't decided what I want to do. Like I always have like an idle project that I work on during the week, like that's away from the big cross stitches. And I haven't like I want to set up my loom for a fancy high ticket item at the craft fairs. Like I have a wide spread of items that I sell at my craft fairs because that was suggested. Is always have little inexpensive things, but also make sure to show off your good things. Show off what you're amazing at. And a lot of my little diamond things, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not charging an arm and a leg for them. I have some cute little dogs. Let me show you. They haven't gotten their professional photos taken, so that's why they haven't really been populated. But like these cute little dogs, as I drop one on the floor, these guys, they're cute, they're little, they're $5. They take me about half an hour to do. They're double-sided. They're all sealed up. They're $5 a pop. I've had people complain that these little dogs, handmade, yes, I made them myself. I made them with my pretty little hands. I've had people complain about that price. And I've also heard, well, I can just order those online. Yes, honey, but they come in bulk. Well, yes, you might be able to pay for for less for all of it, but you still have to put it together. Give me my $5 and you get just the one that you want. And it's all put together. Or like for example, I have coasters. I also haven't taken a whole bunch of pictures of these yet. I have coasters. I actually put better cork on than what comes with them. Like I upsell and I upscale the stuff that I make. So, but those are like my in-betweener projects that I do on my downtime because they're portable and easy and whatnot. And I just haven't decided on what I'm gonna do this week for one. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing is at the big craft fair that I went to. That's what I heard. So many. Oh, they just sell. You can just order these online. Not understanding that, absolutely you can, and I would be absolutely you can, but you have to buy them in bulk, so you don't just get the one that you want. You have to get all of them, and so apparently some people are okay with just doing the one that they want and tossing everything else. Don't do that. Like if you're don't do the waste because you're only adding to the problem. That's why I save all the dots. I rescue dots. I rescue dots and mosaic tiles from people. It's like, hey, don't throw those out. I have those colors. I will color match. But that's the thing is people don't get that. It's frustrating. And that's why like that's why the foxes are limited run. It's fabric that I grabbed. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I've been like those gnomes with the big hats. Like those were all the rage. Those were all the rage this season. But at the same time, I'm looking at them. I'm like, how can a crafter can't just poof make something appear? Like I have a knit loom pattern for those gnomes, and they probably only take a couple of days to make, but to make them in the quantity that people might want them, I mean, I'm quality over quantity any day of the week. That's why like my shit stays together. Like, and if it doesn't, I will, yeah. I just kind of touch base because I like whales and dolphins. I like them growing up. I like fantasy creatures, but I also have a spicy as fuck brain. I found a knit loom mermaid tail blanket for toddlers, of course. I'm pretty sure I could size it up though. I have like the loom set from I have a pretty awesome loom set, I should say. That I found in the thrift store because someone picked it up and didn't like it. Okay, we are on the home stretch for this color. There's this one block of color left. And then I gotta swap it out. But that's one of the reasons that I am very hesitant to, like, if anyone's been to my website, the actual website, not the one that I've been revamping, I have a wide variety of things. Like I have wall art that I make. I have doilies that I've rescued and made pretty. You'll see very little actual cross stitch. I make the fabric, so if you are a cross stitcher, I absolutely encourage your love of the craft and unique fabric. Absolutely. You will not see a whole lot of cross stitch come onto that page. Kits? Yep. Patterns? Yep. You will see that. You will absolutely see both of those things. And I have a couple of those in the wings that will be moved out once I'm done the remodel too. But you will not see a whole lot of cross stitch. That is a whole process. And funny enough, I do have a couple commissions that they're like, I know you're just getting started. Please take your time. I want to pay you for these, but please don't feel that you need to rush. And I will be getting started on those coming down the line soon. But I mean, a cross stitch commission is not a cheap thing. Because as you guys have seen, and I could move faster. I absolutely could move faster. I'm fully capable of it. But these take time. If I could focus. Let's see, one less. Oh yeah. I honestly think the big item I want to work on is not a wrap, not a poncho, kind of like. I'll find its official name. I'll post it in Discord somewhere, but it just fascinates me, and I want to try it. So, I do have to giggle about this. So, there was a conversation on my Facebook page with my aunt, who is a fantastic beater. She is just amazing. Let me see if I do actually have some of her work within reaching distance. Like my aunt, she does amazing work. Now, I can do this. I am actually very proficient in this level of beading. Do I like to? It doesn't bring me the dopamine. But she made a post on my Facebook page, the creations page, and it was very vague, so I assumed she was offering me her stash. So I made an ass of myself, and she's like, no, I just wanted you to post my stuff on your page, which I totally would, hands down. Like, if you have a craft, I'll totally promote your website on my media page. Absolutely, because that's how we grow, and that's how we do things. Like, could I do this beading? And I might have like knick-knack paddywhacks in my finished things portion, but that's not my main craft. Yes, Pixie does not like the new bed setup, by the way. That's a whole nother story. But I was like, yeah, I'll take your stash. I'll even pay you for it. And that's not what she wanted. And I felt like an ass. Oh. I had my coffee and I did the things, and honestly, I'm pretty much ready to go to work, except I gotta change my pants because I'm wearing jeans, and for the amount of walking I do, jeans are not very comfortable. I rock the scrub pants at work. I'm not required to rock the scrub pants, but I do because they're comfortable. Funny enough, my department has probably the most liberal dress code. Yeah, I had coffee, but I've had to reevaluate my uses of coffee because it has been making my stomach upset. Okay. And so I rabbit holed a little bit. I don't always rabbit hole on all of my medical conditions, though I probably should. And like, I was told I have a small hiatal hernia. Now I look at my medical records and it just says I have GERD. Like, there seems to be a very big difference in pooch at the bottom of your esophagus that slowly filters food in, down, and through, and GERD. There's a really big difference between those two things, which I'm going to have to ask my doctor for some clarifying questions. Because I have all the symptoms of a hiatal hernia, but not the diagnosis on my record, which needs to happen. Yes. I'm not a huge fan of the fruit punch flavor, so that might be my bias. Is I just don't like fruit punch. Ugh. Well, so I can't eat fast. And goodness knows, eating in general is hard for me because I can get it through this part. Like this area is fine. This area is fine. But as it's going down, it sits, and I can feel it sitting at the top of my stomach. And my doctor has given me to treat it like it's a hiatal hernia. So The big things that I have to do are eat slowly, which is very hard to do when everybody is vying for your attention at work. It's like, really? Really? Yay! Um, and then after I eat, like I can't go to bed like right after I eat. I only like I mean, I don't fill this cup of coffee, and this one's not empty, but this is today's coffee cup. It doesn't get filled, but I love it because it's Stitch and it says nope, not today. Um, and it's my Monday. I have, geez, how long has it been? 10 years. I think it's been about 10 years for the Haidel. Um, that yeah. I was like, okay, one last. To be fair, with some of my lovely viewers, I have diseases older than you. I have diseases older than your children. My youngest disease is older than most of your children. You should see the looks when I tell people that. I have diseases older than you. Because I was not born. I was not born with any physical ailment. Um, or well, there can be arguments about the ADHD and the ASD. Like I will give that I was born with those, but I did not know about them until 40 years later. Um, but I mean, I got my diabetes at 14. My underactive thyroid was blessed at 24. My celiac was 27, and my hiatal hernia was 35. So, like, yeah. So the hernia has been 6 years. So that's my youngest one. Um. So, so yeah. I have diseases as old as your kids. uh. Yeah, and I turned 41 in November. So just to give you an idea, those are the rough ages of my diseases. Wow. Let's see. If I'm mathing correctly, 41. Let's see. Let's round it up to 15. I was almost 15. 35 would have been 25. Damn. Oh. Uh, if I'm gonna have to break down and go to a neurologist. In all fairness, I don't wanna. I really don't. I don't like. I want to know what's wrong, but I don't want to know what's wrong. Like that's my like hardest, biggest thing is I want to know, but I don't want to know at the same time. Jeez. Another fun conversation. And the like, in all honesty, the ASD and I are having a tumultuous relationship because I have no formal diagnosis, but I have two highly trained professionals who work in the field go, you have it, but we can't diagnose you. We're not diagnostic clinicians, but we work enough in this field to see that, damn girl, you got that. Um, and it's hilarious too. So I'm accepting the unofficial diagnosis, and I'm just dealing with it because at my age, and it's so at my age, I don't necessarily need the diagnosis, and no one can pin me. Oh, you just want to have a disability because I already have I, I had 5 of those before. I don't need any more. Oh. Oh. It's just one of those things. It's exhausting. But I unfortunately have a lot of family members who are like, oh, you're just doing this for attention. I'm like, no, no, I'm really not. Um, if I wanted attention, you would know. I would put out a press release. See, I at least tell my doctor my family history. Um, like I have no problems. I had no problems going to my doctor and going, "Hey, found this out about my family. Just want to make it known to you." Because I can also say that my doctor has, and I love her. Don't get me wrong, but she is a product of the American healthcare system's training. My doctor has been ignoring that I've been complaining about pain since 2010. I too went back on my doctor's notes and I looked at all of her notes that she put into the system, and yep, yep, generalized pain has been on my record since about 2000. Yes, yes. At 24, an official diagnosis. Totally, I support that. But yeah, for me, like I I could take it or leave it. uh, uh, the newest game show craze. Guess that disease. At work, at our station, at our nurses station. None of us are nurses. We have 2 nurses on staff, but I'm not one of them. There's a book. It's just called Diseases. That's the name of the book, Diseases, and I love it. Yeesh. Yeah, that was actually kind of like my mom. Because I found out years and years and years ago, like years, um, that she had been, in fact, properly diagnosed because, um, because my cousin was going in for ASD testing, and they wanted another family member beyond his mother to go in for potential co-diagnosis to balance it out. And in that process, my mother was formally diagnosed with Asperger's, and she didn't tell anyone until it was appropriate for her to get attention. And my nan was like, "Yeah, your dad had ADHD. We just didn't care." It just wasn't a thing back then. She's like, it just wasn't a thing. And he didn't like the drugs, so we didn't force him to take them. And I'm like, really? Between the two sides. And yeah, so I'm definitely touched. But yeah, my mom didn't feel the need to actually like formally tell anyone, because at the time the research didn't show that it traveled through families, even though she got tested because my cousin needed to have it looked at, like, but yeah. My mom is the first year of Gen X. My mom is 65, first year of Gen X. So, it's funny because Rob, husband creature, sorry. He doesn't care if you know his name, but husband creature, mom is 64. So, yeah, I like making it a little bit. I'm like, I could be your daughter. And she's the last year of boomers. Like, it's that. And I think I've just hit 0 on 906. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yes, my mom just turned 58 herself. Yeah. Whatever Super Bowl it is how old my mom is. Woo-hoo, we got another 0. We got another 0. For me, it's always weird because when I talk about my mom was 35 when I was graduating high school. And then she was just hitting 40. She was hitting my age when my sister was graduating high school. So for me, and in August, I will have officially lived longer than my dad. But my dad also, he picked a rougher path than he really needed to. And that's kind of rough. But at the same time, he picked that path. And unfortunately, one of my siblings is dancing. That's fantastic. Okay, I gotta pick another color. Gotta pick another. I also gotta see if any of the projects coming down the pike are gonna need this color, because I don't wanna file it away. That might be one of the little things I do today is I have a stack of string that I've hit 0 on kits, or I used them for like a little project, and now they're all done. But I didn't put the string away because that would require that extra step. Because I don't have. It's one of the few things I have nicely organized. My diamond dots, the beads themselves, and my string are all beautifully, meticulously organized. Everything else can go fuck itself. But the string and the dots are very, very well organized. So it's... Oh, okay. We hit a 0. That's not what I wanted. That's what I want. Okay. Now I gotta zoom out. I want to see what I got going on here. That's not what I want to do. I'm trying to get like more like bulk area ones and nice bold colors. So that's what I'm looking for right now. That one's just all over the place. That's a bold color, but that one is all over the place. That one's probably gonna happen. Let's see. Let's look at 910. That one will close up a lot. Funny enough. But we just did a green, so let's see. Let's do 726. So we're gonna do 726, which is a yellow. Oh, Husband Creature's books are meticulously organized. Well, they were, and then one of our bookshelves collapsed, and while I jerry-rigged it back together, I did not get the books back in order. So okay, so 726, 722, 726. Actually, it's a pretty good color. I have a sneaking suspicion that it looks it looks like it's been used on Captain Peanuts, so I think it's gonna go back. Looks like one of the colors. Woo woo! Okay, so I should say the rest of my house, other than being dusty, is pretty well organized. Being dusty is the biggest flaw of the house. And I am slowly working on getting that taken care of. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, what I want to do. What I want to do is have built-ins built around my living room. Just have built-in bookshelves for around the living room. And it would save me, honestly, it would save me from having to actually sand and paint the living room, because I'm gonna have some nice stained and polyurethane bookcases. But getting there is there's that whole other issue of getting there. I just kind of want to start out with like 1 or 2 areas. Slow process. Much like finding where I am on this pattern. Okay. And 926 go. So, I don't know why I have a short piece. I have short sections to start with. I don't know why, but that's how it's going to start. And I'm just going to do little confetti bits all over the place. I can give a pass on the Tiny Terror. Tiny Terror gets a pass. Other adults within the household, they don't get passes. And in saying that, I don't even give myself a pass. I am an absolute terror to live with. I am messy and I forget a lot of things, but I do turn around and I do try to make sure that everything, it might not always be immediately, but I do turn around and I do try to clean up after myself. Or just I pick a mess and clean it. Like, it might not even be my mess, but if I made a mess, fully knowing I made a mess, I will turn around and try to clean the mess that I made. And if I can't find the mess that I made, I try to get her a portfolio book, like where you can seal it in, and you can put it in a box, send it to me. I will bind it. If you want, I can make a properly bound hardcover book of your kids' art. It's not tools I keep on hand. Well, it's not tools that I keep out in the open, I should say. It is a skill that I have that I do not utilize a lot. But if you have kid art that you want to keep and you want to condense it, I can make books. Or even your own art. If it's loose leaf, I can make it into a book. It has to be roughly the same size. I do have like requirements, but I can make books. I can make nice hardcover books. I can. She could have an Encyclopedia Britannica of her art. And with hardcover, they stay. Like, and my hardcover books, I actually use Gluon, which is a mildly flexible but still kind of rigid piece of wood. A lot of book binders don't use wood anymore, but if you want to keep it like flat and straight or pressed, you use wood, and then you just cover it with like a fabric or an embossed leather, whichever you want to cover it with, and then you use like high quality paper. But I'll toss it out there. Like, I'm not asking for more work by any stretch of the imagination, but if there are particular pieces that you want to keep safe for posterity, yep. You know where I lurk. It's binding falls into one of those skills that right up there with cross stitch. It is a it is a low demand, high time skill, and it's going to be one of the things that I do put on my commissions page that I'm available for, but it's what. Oh, hey, look, a hyper focus that's going to become a skill I never use. Yeah, you only laugh because you know. But yeah, that's pretty much. just a tiny one, you know. It's funny because in doing the UX, just a baby, in doing the UX certificate, I realized how much I've already been doing this, and I was only like half joking when I said I could spend hours just picking out a font, because those are little, like, it's the product interaction, and in addition to making it sound all fancy with UX and UI, product designer is another path that I've looked at, is because it's how do you interact with the camera? How do you interact with this light here? Like, does it make sense? Is it intuitive? Or are you going to have to write a Bible of instructions in order for someone to use this? Can someone just take it out of the box and go, oh, hey, scissors? Or are they going to be like, oh, hey, I got to read the instructions on this? That kind of thing. But yeah. I've actually done. Oh yeah, oh yeah, and that's the thing, is one of the things I have to turn in this week is a very large PowerPoint for my second case study. And now my first case study, I purposely didn't do a whole lot because I was waiting for feedback, because I did a lot. I did a lot, but at the same time I didn't do as much as I could, and I recognize that. Like, I see when I put a lot of effort into something, but at the same time, I don't think people realize how much thought went into the color. Oh yeah, and that's why sometimes, like, I just use the. No, just take the loss. Take the loss, Jules. I won't be on till 11 tomorrow. Just a quick reminder. I have a appointment. Love to say meeting. It's an appointment with my medication nurse. So I need to follow the rules because I take a controlled substance. Take the loss. with 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 the Vyvanse in the States, it's it's I have to get a new script every 28 days, and well, that's always good. Um, and I mean, normally I only meet with her like every 2 months, but because I had a dosage increase, she wants to meet with me again, and then I forgot. Then I forgot, so we rescheduled to the end of the month. So it is what it is. Much as I hate that phrase, it is what it is. Ain't no changing it. My sugar crashed at like 3 in the morning, so I woke up, and then I woke up again at 6 because that's just when my body wakes up. Actually, I went to bed. I went to sleep around 10. We can't do that here, unfortunately. Kind of jealous now. Most all of my other medications are a 1 year prescription. Not a problem. Get it done. But heaven forbid, I need what stupid normal people have abused and turned into an awful thing. Did I do this? I slept in a little. Um, yeah, I did. Yesterday was. I did work on the website a lot yesterday. I went from having a framework that kind of works to now my framework mostly works. Um, and I just need to put some pretty pictures in it. To be completely honest, like if I needed to have the website up running and functional, I just have to put some pictures in. So I don't know, like if you're doing it for safety reasons, absolutely fine if you want to get an official sharps container. But the plastic used in laundry detergent bottles, kitty litter containers, like those big plastic containers, milk jugs are actually also it's called it's you look on the bottom, it's number 2 plastic, is what they use, unless it got bigger. But the Tide Pod, the Tide bottles, those are thick enough plastic to be considered a sharps dispenser if you want to go the cheap way. Oh, so if it's under 50 pounds, duct tape it shut and put it in your trash. Anything under 50 pounds, and you're not a medical facility, put it in your trash. Just wrap duct tape around it, seal it shut, put it in your trash. I know it sounds crass, but legit. And if you're not comfortable with that, you can always look up medical waste disposal and find a drop off point. But um, if you are not a medical facility and it is under 50 pounds, it is not considered medical waste, which is kind of annoying, but at the same time, holy crap. What? Wow. Wow. Jules, just wow. Um, that's because Canada's cool. Yeah, here in the good old USA, they get particular. I mean, I think police stations also have sharps disposals. Um, wow. So, um, while my neighborhood is crud, um, my property taxes aren't even close to that much. Um, I live pretty much in downtown, and my property taxes are $1,300. And if I were to have bought a house, also the city doesn't think my house is worth too much, but if I were to have bought my house and in an outside area, the tax rate, yes, we're taxed out of our ass, but our tax rate is relatively small. That is so weird. That is so weird. Yeah, my girl, if you need insulin needles, I will ship them to you. Like, seriously. And in all fairness, I can get them. Funny enough, I can get syringes without too much of a problem. As long as they're not being used for nefarious purposes. You can actually buy them online too with no prescription. Um, there are so many ways. There are so many ways around American healthcare. Um, there, I said it. You have to appreciate their concern for safety. To be fair, none of my needles are long enough, which is funny, and none of them are actually connected to any sort of real container. Like the needle that is used for my CGM, um, it doesn't have a canister. It's just a little short needle that is sharp enough to punch my skin so that the little filament can get into my blood. And my insulin pump, the needle doesn't connect to a canister. It's to hold a catheter, or yeah, the needle holds a catheter, and then when I yoink it out, it doesn't have a container or anything like that. It's literally just long enough for the catheter, and that's why when my druggy neighbors took my medical supplies, that I was upset, is because it's maybe the needle is maybe as long as this needle is, but infinitely thinner. It just has to break my skin. And some days, depending on where, but yeah, auto injectors are a bit bigger. Let's see. I think insulin needles are 26s, but I mean, the finger pokey needles are a bigger gauge than my insulin needles. But I do have to keep some on hand in case my pump fails. So it's always fun. But yeah. We're supposed to be getting a cold snap for the next couple days here. It snowed. It snowed last night. And it's supposed to like hard freeze, so I'm gonna try to get my driveway appropriately shoveled before it turns into a hard freeze, and turns into a block ice. That'll be the first thing I do after stream is just clear where right after I got done shoveling, literally hadn't been snowing for hours. Plow had gone by, but right after I got done shoveling, lo and behold, the plow truck drove by. And I had already come inside. So that's and see, we even have a pocket. Like everybody's like, "Oh, shovel out a pocket so that all the snow on the plow goes right at..." No. our plow drivers intentionally just right over, and they could easily adjust their plows to go to the other side of the road, but they don't. But my major concern is it's gonna turn into a sheet of ice, or a pile of ice, and I just don't want to deal with that. I mean, with cleanup they do that, but when they're just, I mean, we barely have enough drivers for the plow trucks, much less trying to have someone driving behind them. I mean, on cleanup days, like when they do parking bans in the overnight, yeah, they have the dump trucks on the side of the road, and they have people with the front loaders just shoveling it into the truck. But I don't I don't think they have enough people to do the hey. I lost where I was. There we are. We've had a lot of people fall through the ice here because they're like, "Oh, hey, it's cold. The ice must be okay." No, no, it is not. It has not been cold enough for long enough. Friends, family, just because it's cold 2 days in a row does not mean the ice got 4 inches thick. Do not play fuck around and find out with Mother Nature. She will win. We are squishy. Yeah, we had a town manager die on Friday. We had a family of 4 fall through the ice on a one step above the ATV, where it has it's like the and if you need winter gear, You know, I could. You tell me the R size, and we can work something out. I can get you some studs. Wouldn't that be great? You guys bring in some studded snow tires and get them set on their own set of rims. So if you hear that snow is coming, you pop the studs on. They'd be like, "Where did you get these?" Because I don't think in the South that they have the winter tires, much less studded snow tires. Yo, you have options. But yeah, a family was out joyriding in their golf cart on steroids, I guess is the best way to describe it. And they fell into the ice, about 7 feet of water. They just stood on the roof of the vehicle, but they had to call for help. And it's like, why are you doing this? Oh, I did not know. If I ever moved any place that didn't have snow on a regular basis, you would bet your sweet ass I would make sure that I at least had a set of studded snows. Because with the weather and how wonky it is, just just they wouldn't be properly equipped to salt and sand or oh, I think my new stencil package has just arrived. And it is what it's 10 off. Yeah. Chains are a very good instead of. They're kind of a pain in the ass to have to put on. Like, don't get me wrong. Chains are a bit of a pain. My dogs are going crazy because there's a delivery driver out. So I'm gonna finish up this section that I'm working on. I'll give you some stats, yo, and then we can call it a day. I know we've at least gotten a percent, so. Yes. Kitty litter, or we use them. Funny enough, because we just have a supply, we use wood ash. When driving in bad weather, honestly, the best advice I can give: go slow. Um, if you do not feel comfortable on a highway, do not get on a highway because there are assholes on the highway that think you going 45 is unreasonable, even though, like, up here in Maine, minimum is 45 on the highway. But, my best advice ever is just go slow. I mean, my entire ride to work is 25 miles an hour, the whole mile and a half, but it is down one of the biggest hills in the city and up one of the biggest hills in the city, which is funny because I'm super close, but I still have to go over some of the more dangerous terrain to get there. But I always leave early if I have to. I always have something to entertain myself in my bag, so that's never been a problem. But I'm coming to realize that me having something to do so I don't fidget or bother people is more of a coping mechanism to mask my ADHD. Yeah. Yeah. It is I've been coming to terms with how much I mask when interacting outside of my house. And while I don't necessarily mind, it's just a harsh realization to realize just how much energy I put into being someone I'm mostly not outside my house. There we go. Okay, so let me highlight and put some numbers in, and I will tell you where we are at. So, ooh, we did a good chunk today. We did 263 stitches. No, 263. Okay. 6, 3. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we are at 76.29%. We have 6,121 stitches to go until we are all done. Brings us up to a total of 19,693. We are trucking right along. Oh my goodness. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm just gonna change it on the loading screen for tomorrow. Save me a little bit of time. There we go. Well, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. I'm gonna go out and clear the snow out from my driveway, at least the front of it. Should only be one swipe. And then I'm gonna get ready for work meetings and all that happy horse shit that goes along with that. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. I will be back at 11 tomorrow, maybe a little earlier. It depends on my appointment. And I will see everybody en la mañana. And we'll be working on 726 some more, because there's still 350 stitches of it left. So, but it's filling stuff in. It's going to be filling in all this area down here too. So we're getting the feathers all filled in. This week's progress picture is going to be fantastic. Okay, talk to y'all later.